The Nintendo Switch has been kicking around for over 7 years now, and in that time, it's managed to become one of the best-selling consoles ever. We're talking over 100 million units sold, which is absolutely wild. But now that we're in 2025 and the Switch 2 is rumored to be coming in late 2025, the question is, should you buy a Switch now or wait for its successor? There are currently 3 versions of the Nintendo Switch that you can grab today. First, you've got the original Switch, which launched way back in 2017. It still hooks up to a TV and works great in docked mode, but it has that flimsy little kickstand on the back that's honestly not the best. If you're looking for the cheapest way to play Switch games, especially if you mostly plan to play docked, it could still be a solid option though. Next, there's the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now, this one's fully handheld, smaller screen, no detachable Joy-Cons. Basically, it's a cheaper and more compact version of the Switch. But honestly, I'd recommend skipping it. Yes, it's budget-friendly, and performance-wise it's identical to the others, but the screen is just too small for certain games. And if the controls get stick drift, you're stuck. They can't be replaced. So overall, not great. That brings us to the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is the version I recommend the most. The main difference? The screen. It's brighter, bolder, and way better. You get thinner bezels and a larger 7-inch OLED display. It might not sound like a huge jump, but in person it makes a big difference, especially when you're gaming in handheld mode. But it's not just the screen. The OLED model also has twice the internal storage, 64 gigabytes versus the 32 gigabytes in the original. That still isn't massive, so I definitely suggest picking up a micro SD card, but you'll at least be able to install a couple of digital games right out of the box. The original model? Pretty much cartridge only unless you upgraded the storage. Audio has had a slight upgrade too. The speakers on the OLED model are technically improved, but don't expect anything amazing. They're still fairly tinny, so I'd recommend using headphones for a better experience. That said, it's a step up from the original, and the kickstand? Oh man, what a glow-up. The original had that tiny flimsy little flap that barely held the thing up. The OLED version gives you a full-width, adjustable kickstand that's actually stable and usable. You can tilt it to all kinds of angles, and it makes tabletop gaming way more practical. Another low-key upgrade with the OLED model is the Ethernet port in the dock. If you're playing games that need a solid connection like Smash or Splatoon, this is a great little bonus. Wi-Fi on the Switch isn't terrible, but it's not exactly fast either, so having that wired option is clutch. Now, what hasn't changed with the OLED model? Performance. It's still running the same chip as the original 2017 Switch, so no matter which version you get, Lite, Original, or OLED, performance is going to be exactly the same. Battery life? Also pretty much unchanged. So, why do I still love the Switch in 2025? Third-party games have gotten way better. I picked up EAFC 24 recently for just to try it, and let me tell you, the old FIFA titles on Switch used to be a joke. They were just Xbox 360 ports with new kits and menus slapped on top. But now, FC24 actually runs on the Frostbite engine, the full PlayStation 4 version, just with lower resolution and frame rate. Is it perfect? Number. It's 720p in handheld and somewhere around 900p to 1080p docked, and it's locked at 30 FPS. Menus are laggy, and the experience isn't buttery smooth, but it's playable. And the fact that you can now take the full Ultimate Team experience with you on the go is actually really impressive. I'm even considering grabbing FC25 on Switch just for that convenience. Beyond that, you've got Fortnite, Rocket League, Apex Legends, Overwatch, all running on Switch. Sure, they're visually dialed back and capped at 30 FPS, but still, being able to play those titles on such a small device is crazy. Especially with cross-progression, where you can start a match on your PS5 at home and pick it up on the go with your Switch. That's where the Switch really shines. Now, I wouldn't recommend buying a Switch just for those third-party games. If you're looking for performance, grab a PS5 or Series X instead. But if you already have a main console and want something more portable and casual, the Switch is still a great option. One of the best ports I picked up recently was the Portal Companion Collection, Portal 1 and 2, fully playable on the Switch. It actually runs better than the old Xbox 360 versions, locked at 30 FPS. and it's just an awesome experience to play these classics handheld. Let's not forget the Nintendo Switch online service. This thing is packed. You can play Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, and even Sega Mega Drive games, all from one subscription. One of my favorite non-gaming features? YouTube on the Switch. Sounds simple, but hear me out. Try finding another OLED tablet in this price. You really can't. And watching YouTube on a crisp OLED screen is just nice. Nintendo, if you're listening, please add Netflix, Disney Plus, and Prime Video to the Switch too. That would make it perfect. All in all, the Switch OLED in 2025 is still a solid buy, but it's getting old. It's underpowered. And if you want to play the latest, most demanding games, you're better off with a more powerful console. But if you're after something casual, portable, and packed with amazing first-party exclusives like Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's still a great experience. That said, the Switch 2 is very likely dropping in less than a year, and if you're patient, waiting might be the better move. It'll probably offer better performance, higher resolutions, and, fingers crossed, backward compatibility. But if you can't wait and just need a solid handheld gaming experience right now, the Switch OLED is a fantastic pick. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments. Are you thinking about buying a Switch? Do you already have one? And hey, if you don't have anything to say, just drop a heart down below. It helps more than you know. I'll catch you in the next one.